I just need some water. No, this means I need water. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nittagora Haribo, 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 Nittagora Haribo. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Mathur Dham Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Naranayam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Praya Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavaduttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed in loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are going to be reading 10th Canto, chapter 60, and we'll continue with verse 18. Chaitya, Shalva, Jarasandha, Dantavakradayo, Nipaha, Mama, Dvishyanti, Vamoru, Rukmi, Chapi, Tavagraja, Chaitya Shalva Jarasandha, Dantavakradayo Nripa, Mama Dvishyanti Vamoru, Rukmi Chapi Tavagraja, Chaitya Shalva Jarasandha, Dantavakradayo Nripa, Mama Dvishyanti Vamoru, Rukmi Chapi Tavagraja, Chaitya Shalva Jarasandha, Dantavakradayo Nripa, Mama Dvishyanti Vamoru, Rukmi Chapi Tavagraja, Vamoru, Rukmi Chapi Tavagraja. Chaitya Shalva Jarasandha, Vamuru. Word for word meanings. This is actually a few words. Chaija, Shalva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, Adaya. Chaija, Shishupal, Shalva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, and others. Nripaha, kings. Mama, me. Dvishanti, hate. Vama Uru, O beautiful thighed one. Rukmi, Rukmi. Cha'api, as well. Taba, your. Agraja, older brother. Translation. Kings like Shishupal, Shalva, Jarasandha, and Dattavakra all hate me, O beautiful thighed one, and so does your elder brother Rukmi. Please repeat. Kings like Shishupal, Shalva, Jarasandha, and Dattavakra all hate me, O beautiful thighed one. And so does your elder brother Rukmi. There's no purport by the servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada for this verse and for the next couple of verses. So I'll read the tikas by the acharyas, but first. Magyana Timirandasya Kananchana Shalakya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopyustam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamaya Tati Swapadati Tam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddhapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Purijina Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Ragana Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakantitanscha Hey Krishna Korana Sindho Dinabando Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshri Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Drupascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pasaya Vishnupadaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Shmeta Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pasachaya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to read the translation again. Kings like Shishupal, Shalva, Jarasandha, and Dantavakra all hate me, O beautiful thighed one, and so does your elder brother Rukmi. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, She may ask, then why did you take me as your wife? He therefore says, I took you because Shishupal, Shalva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, and your brother Rukmi were my enemies. Jiva Goswami writes something similar. Why then did you bring me here? He answers in 2 verses. They hate me, and more particularly your elder brother Rukmi hates me. The present tense is used because of proximity to the present and because it will be later described that Rukmi was killed. And Sanatana Goswami writes, the order of hatred is from the most intense, Shishupal, to the least intense. The elder brother of you, my devotee, also hates me. Krishna uses the singular mama here, though in other places he uses the plural. That is because in showing their hatred, he is not prominent. So we're continuing in this chapter where Krishna is having I guess it's a conversation with Rukmi, where Rukmi is basically just worshiping him, and Krishna all of a sudden is just, I'm not good enough for you, and then here's all the reasons why. And the reasons he's giving are not untrue, but he's doing all this as like a loving pastime between him and his wife to kind of get her irritated under her skin so that she shows a little emotion, a little irritation, to get a little excitement out of her, because she's a very humble, subservient person, just fanning him, doing whatever he wants, but he desires this little excitement, so he's telling her these, I guess, if you want to say half-truths. And I want to continue on to the next verse, because he's saying, in this verse here, he's talking about all these kings that hate him, which is also true. But let me continue to the next verse, text 19. Tesham vira madandanam driptanam smayanataye anitasi mayabhadre tejo paharatasatam. Translation. It was to dispel the arrogance of these kings that I carried you away, my good woman, for they were blinded by the intoxication of power. My purpose was to curb the strength of the wicked. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, I took you just to destroy the pride, smayanutaye, of those conceited kings who are intoxicated with valor. And Jiva Goswami writes, it is not my fault. They hate me because of their evil natures. They have lost all discrimination because intoxication with their power of strength, virya. Thus they have become proud, dripdanam. To curb their pride, smayanutaye, I took you away. The real purpose was to curb the strength of the wicked. My goal was to take you away, not to marry you. So in this verse, he's saying that all these kings, they hate Krishna because they're blinded by their power, their kingly power, their worldly wealth, their greed, and all these things. And in the beginning of this chapter in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada has this nice paragraph where he talks about Krishna, why he comes to the material world, and his dealings, a little bit with his dealings with Rukmini. It says, Lord Krishna's dealings with Rukmini as a perfect husband are a perfect manifestation of the supreme perfection of the personality of Godhead. There are many philosophers who propound a concept of the absolute truth in which God cannot do this or that. They deny the incarnation of God or the supreme absolute truth in human form. But actually the fact is different. God cannot be subject to our imperfect sensual activities. He is the all-powerful, omnipresent personality of Godhead. And by his supreme will, he can not only create, maintain, and annihilate the whole cosmic manifestation, but can also descend as an ordinary human being to execute the highest mission. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever there are discrepancies in the discharge of human occupational duties, he descends. He is not forced to appear by any external agency, but he descends by his own internal potency in order to reestablish the standard functions of human activities and simultaneously annihilate the disturbing elements in the progressive march of human civilization. In accordance with this principle of the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he descended in his eternal form as Sri Krishna in the dynasty of the Yadus. So he doesn't have to come here, but he comes to this material world to please his devotees, but also to take care of these miscreant elements, if you will. And these kings that he's naming, Shalva, Jarasandha, Shishupal, Rukmi, or princes, or royal people, they all have this antagonistic attitude towards Krishna for whatever reason. Shishupal wanted to marry Rukmini, and Krishna, we know Krishna, Rukmini really wanted to marry Krishna, and there's that whole pastime, but Krishna just swooped in, took her away. So Shishupal was angry. Rukmini was furious, and Krishna almost killed him. So they're kind of angry, but they're not doing. They're not being subservient to what Krishna wants, like Rukmini is. And that's kind of one of the points I wanted to bring up is being subservient, being humble, like Rukmini is being. Because when you're doing that, it's kind of like you're relinquishing control. And I just wanted to share I just wanted to share a small example. Just yesterday when I was dressing the deities, I had a whole plan. I was like, I have this and this picked out. This should be easier today because I'm not going to go for the whole kit and caboodle. I'm not going to do all these extra things. Everything should be easy peasy. Everything's fine. And then yesterday, when I went to dress the deities, it was like, it was like crawling through mud and quicksands. Like everything I was trying to do or thought I could do just was not happening. The easiest thing became the hardest thing. Just putting a tika, which is this little thing on Radharani's head, just down the middle of her head, was like impossible. I couldn't figure it out. And I had 3 or 4 of them up there. And each one I'm trying, it's like, I couldn't do it. And I got so frustrated. Like, I felt like, I can't compare myself to Rukmini or any of these situations, but I kind of felt like I had this bubbling, like, I can't, So I walked off the altar and I just kind of did my thing, like, clenched my teeth. And then I went back. And as I was like, because there's not a lot of time to sit there and contemplate on what's going on, you just got to keep going. So then as I'm going, and I'm just, whatever I was doing, trying to put something on Krishna, and I'm like, what is all this for? It's to realize that I'm not in control, no matter what I think, no matter what plan I bring to the table, no matter how I plan it out in my head, no matter, Krishna is in control. And I have to surrender that. And just like, I see Rukmini here just innocently worshiping Krishna, fanning him. Everything's fine, and all of a sudden, it's like, you don't really need me. I was just doing this. I don't necessarily love you or want to marry you, and yada, yada. And then all of a sudden, her heart's broken. She's like, and it's like, and I feel like the reason I bring up this whole example is I feel like when you come to Krishna consciousness with a plan, a set plan, you want and everything's worked out in your head, you're trying to be the controller. And that's just not the way it works. Krishna is control. Krishna is always in control. And he'll, like what he did with me, I can't, compare this pastime with my stupid instance, but it's like, I feel like Krishna does these things to get some sort of reaction, to make sure your heart's in it, to make sure you're all there, that you're not like thinking about something else, thinking about a car problem. You're thinking about serving Krishna, thinking about the task at hand. And another thing that this whole pastime brings up is that while these personalities, may not exactly be fallen conditioned souls like us, this whole pastime where Krishna is teasing Rukmini, I can think of so many past relationships where, I'm kind of like the humble, subservient one, and my partner would have done the poking and teasing to get like the reaction out of me, to make sure, I'm not just like, just hanging out, just, making sure there's some life in me. So I can see that you got to wait, it's kind of like to make sure you're there, to make sure you're alive, make sure you're waking up. And also, the point I wanted to make is, while we might not be on the same platform as these souls, these pastimes can show us that these sort of intimate relationships, this sort of intimate dealings are possible with the Lord. Krishna is our best friend, our well-wisher, and all these things. But we can have a real relationship with the Lord, a real spiritual, emotional, everything connection. But in order to get to that, we have to read about the Lord, understand who He is, and additionally, we have to chant His name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I bring that up in every class, but it's so important, and just in my personal life, I can attest if you don't take the time, spend the time with Krishna and His holy name, chanting His name, trying to spend time chanting His name and surrendering and trying to purify yourself, if you don't take that time, everything becomes very difficult. All the problems in the world become more intensified. Even the simplest things become more intense. But as soon as you surrender and start chanting and okay, Krishna, this time is for you, then everything becomes a lot easier. Things become so much clearer. I wish I could just give an example of a day where, I could show you where it's like a day where, where the japa is not so present, and then a day where the japa is so present. It's so different. I just wanted to impress that point that, we talk about chanting Hare Krishna a lot, and it almost becomes, I don't want to say passé, but it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we've heard that before. We know, oh yeah, I chant Hare Krishna, but that's it. It's really that important. Anyways, so I'm going to continue on. Krishna is almost done speaking. So I'm going to continue on to the next verse, which would be text 20. Udashina vayam nunam nastriyapatyarta kamuka atma labhyasmahe purna gehayor jatur akriya. Translation. We care nothing for wives, children, and wealth. Always satisfied within ourselves, we do not work for body and home, but like a light, we merely witness. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, "You shouldn't worry that I will suffer if you take another person as your husband. I am indifferent to both houses, the body and the household. Therefore I remain a witness without action, like a flame." Jiva Goswami writes, "How can you say that you are without desire since you have various powers and have obtained many women? How can you say that you have no interest in showing a clear path? You seem to be evading the truth." He answers this by saying that all this is intolerable. I am indifferent. But one who is indifferent is not attached at all, not even to relatives. I am not greedy for wealth, sons or women. Why? I am satisfied with the happiness within myself. I am like Paramatma, unattached to body and home, Gehayo. He identifies himself with Paramatma. Jiva is related to body and home, but not Paramatma. As part of his pastime, he identifies himself with ordinary persons who normally think in terms of body and house. She did not manifest pride like Satyabhama and others. And Sanatana Goswami writes, "Being defeated by kings, I am afraid of them." That was emphasized. Being wicked, they always try to find fault. Nunam means certainly. In the list, the later elements are causes of the previous. I am complete because of realizing my own bliss, Atma Labdhya. The list in the verses gives increasing causes for not being qualified for marriage. Api me purna kamasya navam navam idam priyam. Though I am full in my desire, this person is ever dear to me. Hari Bhakti Sudodaya. Since the Lord depends on the devotee in bhakti, the Lord's statement is not true, but stated as a joke. All his statements have the opposite meaning. So Krishna is continuing in this verse, continuing to state, truths that he's self-satisfied. He's complete in himself. He doesn't need wives, children, all these things. But as Sanatana Goswami is kind of saying here, he's saying all this as kind of like a joke. It says, since the Lord depends on the devotee in bhakti. I mean, the Lord, it's a complicated thing, but the point is the Lord is still continuing to tease Rukmini, pretending like he doesn't need her love and devotion. And I'll continue on to the next verse, text 21. Sri Shuka Uvacha Etavad Uktva Bhagavan Atmanam Valabham Iva Manyamanam Avishleshat Tadarpagna Uparamat. Translation. Shukadev Goswami said, Rukmini had thought herself especially beloved by the Lord because he never left her company. By saying these things to her, he vanquished her pride, and then he stopped speaking. Jiva Goswami writes, she thought of herself as the dearest wife, Vallabham, qualified as equal to him. The conventional meaning of Vallabham is accepted without change of gender, not agreeing with Atmanam. This is an exaggeration since actually she was standing happily engaging as a servant. She did not manifest pride like Satyabhama and others who became angry at Krishna, but she thought, he will never be separated from me. He thought of destroying that pride for fun and then stopped moving. He waited silently to see her show of love or anger. In verse 20, it is said that she could not understand the full meaning of his teasing. He will also say, Mama Vaidarbhya Ashuyeta Jane Twam Mat Paranyanam Twadvacha Shrotu Kamanina Vailya Charitam Angane. O Vaidarvi, do not be displeased with me. I know that you are fully devoted to me. I only spoke in jest, dear lady, because I wanted to hear what you would say. This will be explained later. And Sanatana Goswami writes, she thought herself as if beloved. Actually, she generally considers herself the servant, because of humility arising from the nature of great prema. At Kurukshetra, she later says, Chayaya marpayutam udyata karmukeshu rajashrajaya bata shekari tangri renu ninye mrigendra iva bagan ajavi yutat tatri niketa charano stumamarchanyaya. When all the kings held their bows at the ready to assure that I would be presented to Shishupal, he who puts the dust of his feet on the heads of invincible warriors took me from their midst, as a lion forcibly takes his prey from the midst of goats and sheep. May I always be allowed to worship those feet of Krishna, the abode of Lakshmi. The word Eva can also be linked to the later word Manyamanam Eva. She apparently thought like this. She did not actually think like that, and thus her pride being destroyed was only apparent. She actually had no pride. This happened only because he was teasing her. In verse 20 it is said that she could not understand the full meaning of his teasing. He will also say, Mama Vaidarvya, this astu yeta jane tvam matparayanam twadvacha shrotu kamena. This is a continuation of that verse. So, in this saying, Rukmini appears to have maybe had a little bit of pride. Like I was saying before, Krishna was just trying to irritate her, to get her emotions a little riled up, to make sure she's awake. And then he stops speaking. And as we'll see, she doesn't quite take it as a joke like he means it. And there's more to it. But does anybody have comments and questions? I wanted to actually thank you all for your attention and your patience. I'm not very good at speaking, and I'm very shaky, but thank you for your attention and patience. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Right.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Kanvanta Mara Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Akom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Jeev Jago Gora Chandra Bole Jeev Jago Jeev Jago Gora Chandra Bole Kota Nidra Jaya Maya Picha Chirakole Odani Jadaya Maya Vichani Ramole Baji Bo Bolia Eshe Samsara Bitore Ajibo Lia Eshe Baji Bo Bolia Eshe Samsara Bitore Baji Bo Bolia Eshe Amdam Bulia Rohile to me Avidya Rabare Bulia Rohile to me Avidya Rabare Tomare Loite Ami Oinu Avatara Tomare Loite Ami Oinu Avatara Ami Bina Bandhu Ara Keache Tamara Ami Anna Bandhu Ara Keache Tamara Vene Sheyashadi Maya Nashi Barala
Magi Neshaya Shaudi Maya Nashi Baralagi Hari Nama Mantra loud to me Magi 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 Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Pariya 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 Say Hari Nama Mantra Loilo Magiya 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 Jeev Jago Jeev Jago Gora Chandra Bole Jeev Jago Gora Chandra Bole Kota Nidra Jaya Maya Picha Chira Kole Mota Nidra Jaya Maya Picha Chira Haribo, 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 Nitagor, Haribo, Nitagor, Haribo, 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 Nitagor, Nitagor, Haribo, 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 Nitagor, Haribo, Nitagor, Haribo, 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 Nitagor. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe, Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe, Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai. Ki jai. Lord Gaurachandra is calling. Wake up, sleeping soul. Wake up, sleeping soul. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the cycle of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. I am your only true friend. Other than me, what friend do you have? I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you suffer. Take this great chant for deliverance, Mahamantra, the names of Hari. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, falling at the Lord's lotus feet, take shelter of the Harinam mantra, the Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala 800 Shita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dordaiva Midrishami Hajjanina Nuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Charorapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamae Mama Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayata Vabada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vachintaya Nayanam Galadashru Daraya Varanam Gadgaduridai Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahaneba Vishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahiname Ashlishyavapadam Ratam Manastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatatava Vidadatulam Patomat Prananatastusa Evanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I've fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the... Oh my Lord, with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shastastika Ki Jai.